I have a spreadsheet that I'm getting ready to print, but I want to make a minor edit to it just to clean it up a little bit in the way it looks. So here's a spreadsheet. It's the middle school bell schedule, okay? So let's look at this and see if we can't make it better. The periods are 1 through 7, but right here you have lunch in periods 4 and 5 as well for different grade levels. But to me, that lunch stuff just is too big and it just doesn't look clean to me. So what I want to do is I actually want to put lunch on a little line by itself underneath 4 and underneath 5. But how do you do that? Because if I put my cursor right before lunch and press the enter key, that's what happens. It just goes to the next column, or next cell. So we don't want that. So what do we do? Here's what we do. First of all, let's put our cursor again right before lunch. I'm going to hit the backspace key and get rid of that that slanty thing. What do you call the slanty thing? I forgot. The diagonal? I don't know. I forgot what you call the slanty thing. Anyway. But now instead of just pressing the enter key, let's press the control key and then the enter key, and voila, look what happens. Let's press the enter key again, and it's kind of hidden down there, isn't it? Let's do the same thing to the next one. We put the cursor before lunch, hit the backspace key, hit the control key, hit the enter key, and there it is again. But now our problem is we can't see it. So let's make these bigger so we can mess with them a little bit. Let's double click in that cell that has period 4 in it, and let's highlight where it says lunch 6. It's a 24 right now. Let's kind of cut that in half and see what it looks like. I kind of like that, just like that. Let's do the same thing to the one right under it. It says 23 for some reason. That's odd. Are these different font sizes? Is that 5 a different font size? I don't know. Well, anyway, it looks like the 5 is a 24, but this was a 23. Now it's a 24. I don't know what's going on. Let's bring it down to 12 just like we did the other one. I like that. However, it's sized a little bit too big to go along with the other ones, and so we're gonna make it to where we just see all of that, kind of like that. So I want all of these rows sized the same, so I'm going to put my cursor on row 6 so that it highlights the entire row as it does right now. Then I'm going to right click my mouse and choose resize row so I can see what size it is. It's a 62. So let's make all of these rows the same, all 62. I put my cursor in row 2. I go down to row 9. I push my shift key and my cursor and my left key on my mouse again to highlight all the rows. Then I'm going to right click my mouse and do resize rows, and what we're going for is 62 for all of them. That way they all look nice and uniform. Now to me that looks a lot better. I would like it even better if that was not the and sign, but rather it just actually spelled and. I like that better. That looks very, very cleaner to me. Very much cleaner. Very, well, it does. It looks better to me. So here is a much better to me looking bell schedule, except for one thing. This title is not centered. Now, if you want to center the title, you go to this horizontal align and you push the center one. And now that looks better, doesn't it? I also think the period and time might be, no, they're okay. Let's make this a little tiny bit bigger, just because we can. So it's set apart from period and time a little bit more. It's at 35 right now. Let's go to 38 and see what that looks like. Trying again here. I need to actually type it in here. 38. Yeah, I think I do like that a little bit better. Of course, you can also differentiate it a little bit more by making the text a different color, like that. But frankly, it'll probably just be printed on a black and white printer, and so there's no need to do that. I just messed that up. By the way, if you ever mess up something like I just did there and you want a quick fix without freaking out, just hit the undo button. Okay, now it's back to normal. Let's change that back to black, and that all looks good. To print it, highlight the columns and rows you want printed, press your print key, and then you adjust this to how you want it. Right now, I'm going to move myself out of the way here. That looks okay. I wish that was centered a little bit better though. Let's cancel it and see if I can fix that. I can move myself over here again. Let's see if we can fix that a little bit. I think we can do it by changing this and changing this. Let's make this right align. That may be a bit much though, huh? I don't know that I like that. Let's undo that. Now that I just moved the time over a little bit, let's just hit our print button again and see what it looks like in our preview. That actually is a little bit better. Let's try something else though real fast. Let's close this up a little bit. Let's close this up a little bit because we don't need that much. And now let's change this to a smaller font so it doesn't take up too much space. Let's go to an 18, that's too little. Let's go to a 24. That's just about right. Now let's change the period and the time fonts to something that's smaller yet, like an 18. Now that actually might print better, huh? Again, let's highlight it. Let's hit our print button. Oh, I like that lots better. Well, I like that lots better. Let's move myself out of the way. And you can change all these different settings here to get what you want. Under formatting, if you show the grid lines, you're going to see these grid lines, which you probably don't want when you print it, so don't show those. There's no notes to show. Fit to width, fit to height. Let's fit to page and see what it looks like. About the same, doesn't make any difference. Landscape, what does that look like? Preference. Do you like that better? Do you like that better? Whichever you like. So that's just a thing. So there you go. I think we've improved how it looks. I like that the lunch is smaller underneath the period numbers. I like that it's much more centered on the page. And sometimes you just got to play with your spreadsheets a little bit that you're going to print to make it look just kind of how you want it to, just like we did there. Okay? So there you go. I hope this helps a little bit. See you next time.